Okay. Yeah, I'll have that also. So how much time you can like spend doing other things? You trying to say
Good morning. I closed on my house yesterday, so it is now day 2. Yeah, it's so exciting. I've been telling everybody that I closed on the house, and now I start the process of getting it ready to move into, which I wanted to give you guys an update on what I had decided to do with the foundation. If you remember, one side of the house was about 1.5 inches off, and it had sunk. So I talked to my geotech engineer from my previous job, and we were talking about the drainage and the shrink swell clays, and I thought I would do what we do with dams, which is called the observational approach, which is basically you monitor it as you begin to use the facility, and if it looks like you're going to have some issues with whatever it is, on dams it's with seepage, then you begin to do some mitigation measures, or you might pause operations and do a bigger fix and then continue them later. So I'm taking the observational approach method on my house, and I'm going to do a little bit of maintenance on putting clay around the low areas, and then I will monitor it for probably a year and see if I have any more foundation issues. But if it's only settled 1.5 inches, and it doesn't look to be moving every time it rains, it'll save probably 10 to 15,000 in foundation. And I'm okay with having some small cracks or some issues. I'm also going to choose a flooring type that's a little bit more flexible. There's some really good vinyl flooring nowadays where it doesn't even look like it's vinyl, and so I may or I will put in some vinyl flooring. They call it a floating floor, and so they'll come in and put down level and make it so that all the little cracks get filled in with the leveler, and then I'll have flooring and I'll be able to move in. So after that, it'll be cabinets, it'll be all sorts of other things, but until then I'm just doing little stuff here and there. And I forgot to turn on the utilities a few days in advance. I figured I would do it on Friday, and I guess they don't do it day of, which I think they just, like, on the computer go in and turn a switch and that's your utilities. I don't know that they actually have to come out and like physically turn anything on or reset the meters. Maybe they do, because they're scheduling so far out. I imagine they at least come out and check something, or like make sure that the water meter and all of that is zeroed out. It seems like it should be a much simpler process and something we could digitize, especially as we're going towards AMI, which is advanced metering infrastructure. So everything having kind of its own smart meter and being able to be remotely accessible, instead of having to send meter readers out to go and see how much water you use that month. So cities all over the world are talking about going to AMI, and it's kind of the obvious next step in the future of water and distribution engineering. So if anybody should have known to turn on the utilities early, it was me, but I was thinking, oh, I'll take Friday off and do all of that, and then of course I can't work on the house because I didn't have utilities, and it's really hot in Texas. It's actually the hottest May we've ever had in history. I think so, yeah, it's the hottest May we've ever had in history. That bird is so loud. And you can definitely feel it. It's like nice this morning, and it's been nice in the mornings, like 68 to, I think it was 71 degrees when I woke up this morning. But in the afternoons, it gets humid and hot and muggy. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for the utilities. I could still start some of the outdoor work, especially since it is nice in the mornings. I want to start putting, some of the drainage down, but I need to get a shovel and a wheelbarrow and clay. So I got to figure out where I can get some clay from before I can start any of that. And so I'm gonna see if I can borrow a car from somebody, or maybe rent a car and go do some errands today, especially while I don't have utilities on anyway. And yeah, I'm taking things slow. I've got this place that I can live in. I don't want to stress out about it. I just want to take my time and kind of enjoy the process, and putting together the house and making it a place that I really enjoy living in. So I'm gonna take my time with it, and I think it's gonna be fun. That bird sounds really mad. So anyway, that's my update that I wanted to give you guys, and I hope you're having a great start to your summer, and we'll be talking later. So I was going to tell you that at signing yesterday, there was 2 pieces of paper. So you go in to the title company, and you're signing stuff, and they'll say this paper is saying that you're going to repay your mortgage or loan, and then you sign it, and then go to the next one. And this paper says how much you're going to pay for your escrow, and you sign it and go to the next one. And so there's 2 pieces of paper that I signed that I was like, this feels sketchy that mortgage companies can do this. So I wanted to mention it. One of them was called a hardship note, and it was only a couple of sentences, and the loan officer, the title person, said that it was you signing to say that you will not have any hard time paying your mortgage. Which, obviously people who are going into a mortgage feel like they can afford it, and you've just gone through a month of them pulling your credit and going through all of your finances and your assets and sending them pay stubs and and it's not like you're saying I'm never gonna switch jobs, or I'm never gonna have any sort of hardship that comes in my life, or that you have any control over this unpredictable future. And so I just thought it was very weird that they've got this piece of paper that you sign to say, yeah, I don't have a hard time paying this mortgage. It just doesn't feel quite legal. Like if they were to take you to court and say, we're gonna sue you because you didn't pay your mortgage, or probably they would just evict you and say you didn't, pay your mortgage, we now own the place. Yeah, it feels very sketch. The other one that also felt sketch was a piece of paper that gave the mortgage company a limited, what do they call it? The limited power of attorney. And so basically saying if we can't get a hold of you, we get to sign things on your behalf, which is also kind of messed up. Like if I'm refusing to sign something or I'm evading them because it's not right, they're gonna sign a piece of paper on my behalf. That just like, it doesn't feel right. It feels like it's taking away your autonomy. But yeah, I guess that's the society we live in. Harley's throwing around bones. That you can put those pieces of paper in the mortgage process. So yeah, I thought those two were really weird. But it's not like you have a choice to be like, no, I'm not gonna sign this. And so that so I signed them. But everything else was okay, like the amortization schedule saying like how much of principal versus interest you will pay over the lifetime of the loan. That's all pretty normal. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. I've got my coffee here. You can probably tell I'm still like waking up this morning. But I've got a little local coffee place. It's super good. And I am logging in now to set up for my very first payment. Actually, I have the same account to log into, but now I've got two properties with this mortgage company. The company is, I'll just tell you, I'm using Mr. Cooper. When I refinanced this place in 2020 and got the really low loan, I used Better Mortgage, and then I don't know if you guys heard, Better Mortgage fired a bunch of employees on a Zoom call, and then their computer shut down right afterwards. So they must be going through some stuff, but they had no fees, and so I used the Better Mortgage. I went in and I had them pull my credit and give me a loan estimate, and use that to bring it to my current company, which is Mr. Cooper, also an online only one. And they were able to match the Better Mortgage rate. So I have both of them with Mr. Cooper. It's an online only, which means they've got this really beautiful user interface for going in and setting up payments and getting statements and things like that. I found them to be, it's great. It's nice to use, and I set up auto payments, and that's about it. And they connect in with some of my other financial accounts where I keep, all my finances. And because they're an online only place, I think they're competing with some of these big banks. And they're offering all of these things. So whereas Better Mortgage offers no origination fees, which are like $1,500 in closing costs, Mr. Cooper offers free moves. So they're gonna move anything I want from this place to my new house for free. I also had them match the no origination fees from the Better Mortgage one. And so being able to shop around really gave me a good deal. But yeah, when I refinanced this place, I used Better Mortgage, and they sold out my mortgage to Mr. Cooper. So they're always selling loans, selling their risk and selling their portfolios to different companies. And so it's kind of cool to be able to work with this company and have both of my mortgages with the one company. And if you're wondering, I am trying to keep my mortgages because I will take a little bit of a tax break by having a mortgage, and because over the lifetime of the loan, the opportunity cost of me being able to have that cash liquid and not have it wrapped up into a house is better for me, because I feel like I can put it on the stock market, make some money off of it. I had it liquid enough to be able to purchase a whole other house instead of just, straight up paying this one off. So that's why I chose to do that. It was kind of a tax and I guess financial strategy that I did. So yeah, anyway, I'm going in. I'm gonna set up my first payment for this one in the auto enroll. I need to set up my move with they've got another company called Bellhop, which is they set up all the movers and come in and get your stuff. I do have to box up everything I want and give them an inventory of everything that's going to be boxed. So that is coming. But that's all I wanted to tell you about. And we'll be talking later. Bye.